Yeah, growing up in South Carolina, I've always had an appreciation for history, the history of the state of South Carolina, and even our country's history, and that was kind of ingrained in us growing up. Learning about the Swamp Fox, Francis Marion, in the American Revolution, and then growing up and learning that the Civil War actually the first shots were fired at Fort Sumter in South Carolina, and all of these things that we've learned about in our textbooks and coming up through school, they really happened. And the Star-Spangled Banner, I feel like is something that we shouldn't take lightly. I know there's been artists or celebrities in the past that have kind of turned it into something that it's really not, and so I've always had a reverence for this song and a respect for this song because an American was inspired by a very important event in our history, in our freedom, and our independence. Every time I went to sing the anthem, whether I was in high school singing for an assembly program or singing at an NFL game or wherever I was singing this song, I always tried to envision what Francis Scott Key saw when he was inspired to write this song. I was able to play a show up in Frederick, Maryland, where he was buried, and I took time out of my day to go and visit the gravesite of Francis Scott Key, and it was a cool moment for me because it kind of helped me realize that he was a real guy. And I think the first thing that a lot of people are surprised to hear is that there's more verses than what you normally hear, and so it was a moment of inspiration to a proud American, and so I feel that same sense of pride when I get the opportunity to go out and sing it at any event.